Crawford Racing do some work to it. Hence you'll see the RCR built on the back here. And just a peek inside, mine's the G8 GT Sport package, which comes with the two-tone colored seats. Actually had the 19-inch wheels on it when I got it, and also comes with the red inserts in the dash there like that, which is part of the special edition upgrade. Crank it up here. What you'll notice here on this car, in the 08s, they had this kind of gauge pod up here with the battery voltage and the oil pressure gauge. This is the display for the radio and the air conditioning system. So when we turn on the air conditioning, you can see here how it shows where it's set. And the radio, kind of neat. Here's the controls for the windows. Takes some getting used to because they're here in the center console instead of on the door panels like most cars are. This is the upgraded steering wheel I put in it, which is two-tone, kind of neat with the thicker leather and all on it. As you can tell, it's got a little bit of a hit to it, a little bit of a cam sound. I can change the display here on the dash, so it actually shows different settings. I like showing the mile per hour. It sounds pretty good, kind of quiet with those max flow mufflers, which is what I wanted. So we're getting ready to take this car off. It's been built like this for a couple years now. The car has gone a best of 1159 at 120, which is pretty stout for a street car. Pretty much like you see it full weight. I'd put a set of drag radials on the back to run that time I borrowed from Rick Crawford at the time. Other than that, it had these factory wheels on the front, the 19-inch Cadillac wheels on the front. And went 1160 on the first pass at 119, and then it went a 1159 at 120 on the second pass. So pretty good. Stock converter, stock short block. The stock heads have been shaved, ported and polished by Rick, bigger valves. We took the disable on demand camshaft out of it, which basically is where it cuts out certain cylinders as you're driving to make it like a 4-cylinder, I believe, to save gas mileage, which everybody complains about. We had that disabled in the tune to begin with anyway, but what I did was went ahead and changed that camshaft out. It actually has what they call the little Lanati, is what the name of the grind is, but it's actually a smaller custom grind cam from Lanati camshafts. It is something, if I remember, it's been a while, but it's something like a oh man, now it's escaping me. It's like a 220 degree duration, I believe, if I remember right. 218, 222, or 226. I have to look it up. Now I've escaped me. It's been so many years now, I forgot. But it's a higher lift, like a 600 some lift on it. Man, I can't remember. I got so many cars, I forgot. It's been, I think, going on 4 years since Rick did the work on it. But again, it's got a little Lanati, something like a 218, 222 duration at 50, and like a 630 lift or something like that, if I remember correctly. Like the biggest cam you can get, run the stock converter. And it did phenomenal. I mean, it is really a fun car to drive. You can see, I mean, we got stock converter. All right, try to finish off my G8 video from the other day. So basically what I was trying to say about that little Lanati cam that's in the Pontiac G8, it's called the little Lanati high lift. And it's like a 218, 223 duration at 50, and like a 625 intake and exhaust duration. So it's got a little higher lift, smaller duration, but it works great with the stock converter, great drivability, a little bit of a noticeable lope to it. And in my car, it went 1159 at 120. So it's, you know, pretty fast cam for pretty much a bolt-on car. You know, people argue, bolt on, you went to the motor, blah, 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 you know, whatever. It's a stock 6-liter short block, completely stock, pistons, rings, crank rods, bearing, the whole thing. The original heads that were for the car from the factory that Rick Crawford ported, polished, shaved them to give me a little bit more compression, changed the valves and springs in it, took the disable on demand crap out when he changed the cam, And stock intake manifold that he ported that came with the car, stock throttle body came with the car that he ported, and we put an LS7 mass air meter on it. But pretty much it's all the stock stuff. It's just been worked a little bit. So nothing exotic about the car at all. I think it might have 11-to-1 compression. Stock converter, stock transmission, stock drive shaft. The rear end is an IRS out of a Camaro. I don't know if I said that earlier. It's a 345 differential gear set in it. So that helps it get through the gears faster. Stock, it was a 292. So like an airplane gear in the damn thing. But anyway, just those mods alone, it would go 740s in the 8th, 740s, 750s in the 8th, pretty consistent, and 1150s, 1160s, pretty consistent in the quarter. So I only ran it a few times, really fast, built it for my wife, nice family car, you know, V8, rear wheel drive, 4-door family car, really cool. We went to Myrtle Beach on a few times, went on trips to Virginia Beach and all this. It's just a phenomenal car. Still average 23 miles to the gallon out on the interstate. So really, really nice built all around car. But it's been a few years, so I wanted to change it up a little bit, because if you know me and most of my hobbies, you know, around here, between the Mach 1, the Cobra, and the Black Saleen, I like fast stuff. So this year, 2020, I was talking to Rick Crawford, and he's got a new cam called his Dominator series cams. He's always tweaking, pushing the envelope with what works and what doesn't. So you just don't put a hog-ass cam in your car and expect it to go fast. He actually develops what works best for the engines. And you'll notice, talking to Rick, he doesn't really go crazy with duration and lift. He may change the duration and go a little less lift, things like that, to see what works the best. He's constantly pushing to see what works. So what other engine builders and cam developers may use may not be completely what Rick likes to use. But he's constantly going faster than most people you read about anywhere on the internet. I've known Rick for a few years now. He's always led me in the right direction. Real happy with the way the car runs. So we talked about what I like to do next with the car, which is go much lower in the 11s, possibly even a 10 with the car, if that's possible, with the weight that the car is now, because it's a heavy girl. You know, you're talking high 3,000, almost 4,000 pounds out of this car, because no weight reduction. So right now we've got a new stall converter. It's a Circle D converter, same kind of converter as in my black car. So really nice converter. They're 4D series, 258 millimeter, I believe is what it is. But it's a Rick Crawford spec converter. So that's going in the car. We've got a new Lanati cam. Won't really reveal the specs on it because that's Rick's design, but just say it's a Dominator cam. I already have the heads work with different springs and all, so it shouldn't be any problem. Just slide the cam in. We are also doing an E85 conversion. So I have a flex fuel sensor and all in it. So when it detects E85, the computer will be retuned by Rick. So it'll detect this, it'll put the right timing in it. It's gonna be really nice compared to my Mustangs, because I have to put a dedicated tune just for E85 in those and run it all the time. With this setup in the Pontiac, depending on what I put in it, whether it's 93 octane or E85, the computer will detect that and change the timing around it. That's gonna be really nice. So if I get ready to go to the track, for example, I can pump straight E85 in it, get to the track, and it's going to adjust the tune for me, and I can go knock out some great times with the car. So that's going to be nice. Modified injectors to handle the E85 demand. ZL1 fuel pump is going to go in it now and replace the stock pump. I'm pretty sure that's the biggest changes we're going to make to the car now. Again, Rick's going to redo the tune. So with the converter, leaving harder, it should 60 foot better. I think before it was only 180, 60 foots when it went to 1159, 1160. So it's going 60 foot harder. It should run a few more miles per hour, but it's just going to get there faster. So it's on 60 foot better. The ET should drop. So we should see some improved times. Again, if it'll go really low 11s, that's what I'm looking for. High 10 would be phenomenal. That'd be really stout for an all muscle car, no power adder. And later on, if I want to get nasty with it, I mean, we can put an LSA blower on it, which was the plan all along for later, or even a shot of nitrous just to get there faster. In the meantime, probably get some drag wheels for it, just something to lighten it up. As you can tell, I like Bogarts, so maybe a nice set of Bogarts for it would be cool. If not, I think the Corvette C5 C5 or C6 wheels, I think, are pretty plentiful and fit those cars pretty nice. And 17-inch seems to be a popular mod, so I might throw those on it. We'll see. But anyway, just want to finish off the Pontiac video. I have since dropped it off. Doug Hilliard, if you know Doug, he's got one of the cleanest white G8 GTs you've ever seen. It's got one of Rick's modified LS8 blowers, CNC'd, really nice car, built engine, cammed. I've been following Doug for years. This car's been 960s, so it's really impressive car. Anyway, Doug's been helping Rick for a while, so Doug's actually gonna be doing some of the mechanical work for me, and then Rick's gonna finish the tune. So I dropped the car off with Doug over the weekend, and I'm gonna take some of the parts over. So you'll notice over on my table, I've got some fluids and stuff to take to him. A trans cooler is gonna go in the car, and he'll be starting on it this week. So you'll see some updates here in a couple weeks. Should have the car finished. We'll be getting it out, take it to probably Fayetteville Motorsports Park, and making some passes because that's Rick's home track. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll have some updates soon.